All right, this one's going to blow your mind. This is why chasing an interest rate is the wrong thing to do. It's all about your total payment and the end result of the loan that you take out. In this case, this particular client had a bunch of additional debt, car loans, HELOCs, credit cards, and everything else, and they knew they weren't really getting ahead. They were looking at their credit card statements and seeing, oh, 20 years, 22 years, 27 years to pay those off, or they had to pay extra money to pay it off faster. And when you take and combine all of that additional debt outside of your mortgage, you add all those outstanding balances up, it's like a small mortgage. In some cases, it's equal to your mortgage. So that's where most people miss the boat. They always look at their mortgage just as a mortgage, and that's it. They don't look at their overall debt. The purpose of a refinance or the purpose of your mortgage is a way to structure all of your financial household debt in a way that makes the most sense for you. And that's what I'm going to show you here. This particular client was comfortable making the payment. They just knew they weren't getting ahead. And we broke down the numbers, ran all their debt through a blended rate calculator to figure out what they were paying on average per month, and it blew their mind. So we started off by laying out their baseline. Here's their current loan. They had an outstanding principal balance of $258,992. They had a 3.25 fixed rate on a 20-year term that they had 16 years left on. So they were 4 years into their 20-year term, and they were paying $2,107 per month in principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. The problem was they had all of the other debt. So we said, let's go out here and do a cash out refinance, pay everything off. So we increased their loan amount from 258 to 396. We took their rate from 3.25 to 7%. And most of you guys would be like, there ain't no freaking way, or there ain't no bleeping way, however you want to say it. There's no way I'm giving up my 3.25 to go to 7%. Watch the numbers. We put them on a new 30-year term. Their mortgage payment went to $3,063. Now keep in mind, this paid everything off. And what happened was we freed up $1,416 in monthly cash flow for them and put them back on a 30-year term. And most of you are like, no, not doing it. Now here's where the magic is, people. This is why you have to run your numbers, why you got to understand what your total outlay is per month, what that blended interest rate that you're paying per month, because 7% for a lot of you is cheap when you look at how much you're paying on your credit cards, car loans, and everything else. So here we went out and started restructuring the refinance, and they said, you know what? I would like to keep an extra $1,000 a month in cash flow. So instead of taking the full $1,416 per month and reapplying it towards their principal, we gave them $1,000 in extra cash flow so that we paid an extra $416 per month towards principal. So instead of having this basic payment of $3,063, now we're taking some of the savings we freed up and applied it towards straight principal reduction. So now the payment's $3,480, which is still less than what they were paying for all of their debts before at $4,480 per month over here. So now we take and look at all this and look at how fast they pay the mortgage off. 20 years. It's only 4 years slower or 4 years longer than what they were doing with their current 3.25 rate. But here in this column, all the credit card debts, all the car loans, their HELOCs, everything is paid off in this column right here. Everything. Even though we moved them to a 7% rate, we put them their payment at $34.80 a month, of which an extra $416 of the $1,416 that we freed up by paying everything off is now going towards principal right here. And we've given them $1,000 back into their monthly cash flow, and they're paying the house off in 20.3 years. So this is why you follow the numbers. This is why you have to understand what your situation is. But wait, it gets better, because we know rates are going to drop. So this loan is nothing more than a stepping stone to get everything structured. When rates drop and we can refinance and lower their rate, so we're going to go from 7% down to 5.25. Now that frees up their principal and interest so that we can apply more towards the principal reduction, still keeping the $1,000 a month in extra cash flow they want. Now they're paying their house off in 16.8 years, the exact same time frame that they would have paid off their original mortgage. But with their original mortgage, they'd still have the credit card debt and all the other debt, whereas the way we restructured it, paid everything off in the mortgage, all they're making is their monthly mortgage payment. They're not paying anything else, just their monthly mortgage payment. Now, we take this one step further. Let's say, hey, you're comfortable making the total payment and you want to take this full 14, 16 a month in savings and apply it directly into the principal reduction along with the fact we refinanced your rate. Still, look here, your monthly payment is not exceeding what you've been paying from day one on your current 20-year term at 3.25. So your outlay has remained the same, but now you're getting an additional $1,864 towards principal. That is the $1,416 we saved here, plus we lowered the rate to 5.25. Now your payoff freedom point is 10.67 years. All by taking you back to a 30-year term that we started out with a 7% rate, and then we dropped it down to 5.25 when rates dropped. And you gave up your 20-year term, your 3.25 rate, and you paid everything off 6 years faster. That's why you don't follow an interest rate. The interest rate, the lowest interest rate on the wrong loan program is going to cost you so much money. And if you've got other debts like so many Americans do, you need to restructure your debt. And when we go through and do a blended rate analysis on all of your debt and we show you how much you're actually paying in interest per month, it will freaking blow your mind in a bad way. But yet, so many people go out and look at a mortgage, and that's all they look at. Refinance my mortgage. What's my lowest rate? Let's not even talk about all the other debt you have that's killing you an interest rate. You're not concerned about that, but you should be. And that's what this whole presentation is here to challenge you. You need to look at your overall financial picture, make a decision based on the total outcome and how you're going to improve your financial situation as a whole, not just your mortgage. So give us a call. We'll be glad to walk you through all this, create this presentation specifically for your financial numbers, and help you get ahead and stop with the debt struggle. Have a great day.